Welcome to FBB Forum. If you like this content, please be sure to like and subscribe. I'm very pleased to welcome the stunning IFBB Pro Masters Figure competitor, Linda Flynn, to the podcast. Linda most recently competed at the Tampa Pro show a few weeks ago and also competed earlier this year at the Chicago Pro in July. Linda and her husband, Bob, live in the wine country of California and have also shown horses and dogs competitively in the past. Welcome, Linda. It's really great to have you here. And it
Hi.
was really great to meet you in Tampa, too.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a nice surprise to meet you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, our mutual friend, Susan Graham, had recommended that I speak with you about an interview. And and I didn't know you were going to be in Tampa, so that worked out really good. So
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was a nice surprise.
thank you. So I was curious in terms of getting started in bodybuilding. Did you have an athletic or a sports background before you started?
Yeah, I started off riding horses when I was about 7, and then it turned into competitive equestrian, hunter jumper, and did that up until the age of 25, 26 when I started having kids.
Okay.
And then through the years, we've showed dogs on and off Rottweilers. So a lot of competitive, areas in our lives. So this was nothing new really, as far as it was just that it was more focused on me, not per se with an animal. So a little
Oh,
bit
sure.
different. Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. With the Rottweilers, did you do like the Westminster dog show type thing?
No, they have like just specific Rottweiler club shows,
Mm.
which is usually what we do. We're thinking about maybe down the roadaways trying to go. There's a lot of them in Germany,
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
do that next couple of years. So we need to get some more dogs and then just, go forward from there. So we'll see how it goes.
That's
It's
very cool.
definitely a different arena than bodybuilding.
Oh, it is definitely different, I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're running around with a dog, and usually slacks and a nice shirt. So
Oh, yeah. A little more clothes. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I understand. Now who convinced you to first get into bodybuilding and how did you get involved in bodybuilding?
My husband pushed me a little bit into it when I used to be a runner. I was an avid runner. And then my body started, I was kind of getting to that point where I was skinny fat, where I had to lost, my muscle. I didn't have a lot of muscle. I was running my muscle off. So he told me to start trying to lift weights. And I was kind of fought it for a while because I didn't want to be big, which
Mm.
you can't really do being a woman, right? And then Susan Graham, this was in Paso when she used to live in Paso, had met me down where we worked out and had kind of said, you should maybe think about competing. And I went, oh, I don't know about that. So yeah, that bug was in my ear. And then it just kind of like evolved for the next maybe 2 years where I just lifted. And then Bob had got me a coach, Eric DeLorean, that's down in Southern California. And he helped me, that Susan had also had, with starting up and getting going. And then Arcgueras kind of jumped in and started helping me train so that I understood lifting and how to do it properly, and helped me a lot. So that's basically how I started out. And then through the years, more people helping me with posing, training.
And
So it's ever evolving wheel.
what year did you start competing?
2014.
Oh, wow.
It's been 10 years. And my first show was Tahoe, and it was a blast.
Oh,
I was
nice.
going to just get on stage. I'm all thinking to myself, I'm just going to get on stage just to prove to everybody I can do it. And then
Hmm.
I got on stage and I was like, wow, I really like this. So
I think that I hear that from so many competitors. They kind of get hooked on it, and it's just kind of because it is kind of a thrill being on stage like that and showing off all your hard work too.
it is, it is. It's just a process of getting up there, getting your makeup done, the spray tan. You look totally different when you're on stage. You don't look like the normal, you. And I know a lot of people see me on stage. I had a couple of people come up to me afterwards and say, we didn't even recognize you. I said, well, I don't know if that's good or bad, but thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely look different with the stage makeup and because it's a lot of to just be up on the bright lights and stuff, stage makeup and then the tan can get pretty dark too. So you definitely look
Yeah,
different. Yeah.
it's way different. That's for sure. In just normal light, it looks way different than on the
Yeah.
stage,
Oh,
but it's
that's
neat.
true.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I actually got to meet Arcgueras at Tampa as well. So that's great that you got to work with him with training too.
Oh yeah, he's so knowledgeable. He's been in the industry forever. And I mean, literally, he worked in the industry, has his own business making dumbbells. And he started off saying to me, I'm just gonna just help you like a couple days, wrote me out a little plan. I said, okay, that's good. And then I needed a lot of help. I didn't know how to, go through my workouts, lift properly, increase the weight. And he just came right in and basically started training me 5 days a week
Wow.
for a really long time.
Okay.
So that's where I learned a lot of what I know now as far as, knowledge, good knowledge. So it was a blessing.
That's terrific. Yeah. Did Susan help with training too with you or
That's a funny story. So no, she didn't. I asked her to start training me. And we had a really long discussion. And she said, I think you need to go and probably train with somebody else because we're too much alike.
oh
So I said, oh, just please train me. She said, no. She goes, go find somebody else. So that was funny. She said, we're too much alike. I think it just won't work. And she's right.
Oh, I see.
She
That
was
makes
right.
sense. It's
So
good that she could identify that though. And yeah,
yeah, for
that's
sure. I
good.
know. I
Uh-huh.
know. I understood it after a couple months. I'm like, okay, I get it now.
I see. Yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah. Now I was curious, do you have a fitness role model that you look up to or several?
Um, Gosh, well, I look up to Susan. Probably, who do I look up to? Really anybody that's higher up that's been in it for a long time.
Mhm.
Like Nicole Wilkins. She was in
Yeah.
it for a long time, competed. I mean, you just saw her body evolve. I met Wendy Fortino at my first show in Tahoe, and I met her actually back in the tanning booth. And I looked at her body, I was like, wow, I want to look like her.
Hmm.
So I ended up having her and Matt train me for a while, and she's phenomenal. I mean, I've seen her go from, she looks great now. I mean, she just keeps evolving.
Yeah,
So,
she is. She's really good.
yeah, and she's super sweet also.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's about really, I mean, I'm always looking up to somebody trying to motivate me to go further.
Sure, I totally understand. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good. Wendy Fortino is really amazing. And I like the fact that she's doing more interviews now too. And yeah, and she's yeah, a really interesting person, I think, as
She's
well.
a great person. She's so sweet and she's genuine and she's worked really hard to get to where she's at. And she
Oh,
continues to work hard. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, she's impressive. I got to see her at the
Mhm.
Triple O Dynasty and yeah, she looked amazing there.
Oh, her body's come, I mean, she's changed so much. It's just incredible. That's what drives me. I know I see her and other people. I'm all, she can do that. I can keep pushing myself to get better.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. That's great. Yeah. Now I was curious, you mentioned a little bit, but was it tough for you to get up on stage in the bikini for the first time? And do you ever get nervous up there now?
It was, at that time I had Nancy Georges as the coach and she really helped me get on stage, just had me focus on the journey, not necessarily going out in front of all the people with, a bikini on. It was probably walking on a stage was probably the hardest. And then when I got on there, I was fine with, quarter turns, lineups and all that,
Mhm.
comparisons. Um, but like I said, I enjoyed it once I was up there with all the girls. But still to this day, it's still, you get your adrenaline rush. Absolutely. You get your nerves going no matter what you do. I've tried everything. Because your body reacts to your nerves. So
Yeah.
to stay calm, but there's just that moment when you're going up the stairs to get ready to go on stage where this is it, you know, remember your model turns, all that stuff, and just get on. They announce your name, you're just walking in there and you're on it. So once I'm on stage, I'm fine, but it's just that moment right before you're going on.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't think I'll ever get past that. I think most people are probably like that.
Oh yeah, I would say so too. Yeah,
Just trying to be
definitely.
on our game, not blanking out when you're doing your model, poses and routines. So yeah, goes through your mind.
I totally
That's why
understand
we
that.
practice so much.
Yeah, no, I know. No, I think the practicing is important. Practicing posing is really important, I think. And
It's huge. And
yeah,
posting's hard. It's
Oh,
really
I
hard.
know. I know it is. It's very tough. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely struggle with that a little bit through the years. I didn't even know how to do a lat spread before. It took me years to connect my, muscle to my brain in that area. And I
Uh-huh.
finally figured it out, but it took me a couple years. So
Really? Yeah.
mhm.
I think it would be tough walking with the heels too, and posing with the heels would be tough.
It is. It is. It becomes, especially if the stages aren't flat or they have little rivets, which happens a lot. You have to
Yeah.
kind of work around them.
Mm.
But yeah, you just practice a lot in your heels. Just everybody says you need to vacuum in them and do all this stuff in them. And I don't vacuum. My husband does. So
Uh-huh.
I can't vacuum in them. But yeah, just a lot of practice.
Sure. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Now, like we talked about, you competed at the Masters Figure Pro in Tampa, and you did the over 60. Is that right?
I did.
Yeah, and you're 63.
I'm 63.
Very
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
Um, I was curious, did you enjoy the show, and what was your overall experience like at that show?
Oh yeah, I totally enjoyed it. I had gone there the year before and enjoyed it. That's why we went back. Just the whole process of where it's at is beautiful.
Hmm.
Um, the show, I mean, I have no complaints really. It was ran smooth, check-ins were good, backstage was good, no drama, and it was phenomenal. Unfortunately, we didn't get to stay we left Friday morning, so we didn't get to stay for the rest of the show, but I heard it was great too.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, Friday. Yeah, I stayed for the Friday, the prejudging and finals, and it was really good.
Mhm.
So you don't mind the heat though? It's so dang hot and humid down here in Tampa.
It is. It is. When usually like last year when we went, I was outside a little bit more than I was this year. And my
Yeah,
body held on to water a little bit more because of the humidity, because where we live, it's super dry.
yeah, yeah.
So this year I didn't go outside too much, but I know it said one time it was 99 outside, but it felt like 114.
It was
And I went
amazing.
out for a second and the sun was under the clouds, so it wasn't that bad, you know? And
Yeah,
the sun came out, I go, okay, that's it.
yeah. It's hot. You got to worry about your makeup too. I would think it's just so dang
Oh,
hot out there.
the tan starts dripping. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It is. It's a brutal that time of year, but
It's different heat for
it
sure.
is. It is very different. I've always lived in Florida, so I don't know anything different.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Sure,
And
you're used
I
to
do
it.
like it, and I miss the humidity when I leave too. Kind of like breathing it back in. It's like it's comforting. Yeah.
Yeah, and where we're at, you probably wouldn't like it. It's so dry. The air's dry. And it, gets as hot as where you're at, but
Huh.
your skin's doesn't feel as good because it's so dry. But it's beautiful where we're at,
Yeah.
just like you. Do you live in Tampa?
Yeah. I live in Tampa. Yeah. And yeah, I like it here. It's a nice. It's a good bodybuilding community too, for sure. So
Is it?
yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think Florida it's grown. There's a lot that goes on in Florida now for bodybuilding.
Yeah. It is. It's like a mecca for bodybuilding now. I
It
think
is. There's a
really
ton
is.
of shows there.
Yeah, there is a lot of shows, a lot of competitors here now. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So I was curious, what was your feeling like backstage in Tampa with the other athletes and the expediters? Um, was it, you said not much drama? Was everything went really well backstage?
Everything went well. Everybody was on time. Usually there's one or two girls or guys that aren't there, so they're hollering for them. Yeah, it actually went better this year than it did last year. Backstage last year, we waited forever. Before we even went down the stairs, there's a stairs you come down, right?
Yeah.
And then we ended up in the back part of the stage for probably a half hour last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally got to the immediate backstage and then finally on stage. But this year it went so quick. I was amazed at how quick we were on stage. So it was good. Yeah, I had the expediters at Tim's show. They're always the same ones. They're great. You get to know them. I did obviously Tampa last year, and then the year before I did San Antonio with Tim.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always the same people getting you on stage, getting you off stage. So
Yeah.
it's familiar, which makes it super nice because then you don't get as stressed, obviously. So
Yeah. And you were in Chicago too, which is also a Tim Gardner show.
yeah.
Was that
And
also?
that was good too. It was obviously different than Tampa, but yeah, it was good the way it was run too. No
Yeah.
complaints.
I think it was good they moved it out closer to the airport too, there in Chicago, instead of, it was in Tinley Park before, which is kind of seems like
Yes.
no man's land out there and kind of far,
Oh,
like,
that's far out. I didn't realize that.
yeah, but being close to the airport, I think makes it more convenient to the athletes.
Gosh, it was only, oh, we got there so fast, like 10 minutes in an Uber.
Yeah.
I
Sounds
know,
like,
we got there and there was that hurricane or tornado that went through the night that we were there. It was crazy.
oh yes,
On
I
our
heard about
winds.
that. Oh, I heard. Yeah, I know. That was really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
All the big alarms were going off. Like there was like something big coming, like a bomb or something, like that, all probably halfway through the night. And then finally it settled down. So
Really?
that was kind of cool because we're not
Wow.
used to that here. We
I
used to have
thought,
earthquakes.
oh, I know.
Yeah.
We had the tropical storm was threatening Tampa too. So, but that didn't come till Sunday, I think.
Yeah.
So
We got out of there just in time. That's for sure. Yeah.
I know because you could
I
have
don't
got
think that was
stuck.
that bad. Did that get bad? I don't
There was some
damage.
storm surge flooding near the coast, and it could have affected because it's right on the bay where the Tampa Pro is located, so they might have had some flooding there. But yeah, no, I know that's always a concern, and having it early August is usually better. But yeah, that was an early storm for us, I think. So yeah,
Well, I know that bay where our room is or was, you can see all the bay and the way the weather comes in there so quick. It's
yeah,
awesome.
I know it's kind of
It
beautiful actually.
switches really fast.
It does, yeah. Those storms will pop up quickly, and the lightning will come, and yeah, it can get a little intimidating.
Yeah, the lightning was crazy too. I remember that. It was an all-night
Oh,
thing.
the lightning is bad sometimes. Yeah, kind of dangerous too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
They pull everything in when that starts up, I think, from outside, it seems like,
They
as far
do.
as
Yeah,
dining and stuff. Yeah.
they have for safety. They have to. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Now, I was curious. Where do you hope to compete next?
I have Pittsburgh Masters World in 2.5 weeks.
Oh, do you? Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
Cool.
we leave the end of the month and then it's the September 1st is when it's on a Sunday when we step on stage. So I'm looking forward to that. I didn't go last year
Okay.
and I wish I would have when it came up. I had just gotten done with 2 shows. I did Max Fit and what was the other one that I did? Max Fit
It was Max Fit and Daytona.
in Daytona. Well, Daytona was after. But anyway, so it was super close. World War, there was like 2 weeks or a week and a half or whatever between, and so I wasn't going to do it. And then when it came up like 5 days from, oh, I want to go. But then I thought, no, because I had a show Daytona that was coming up after that. So I just got to lay low. So I missed it last year. So this year, that's my plan. And
Okay.
so I'm still in prep, which is good.
Great. Oh no,
Yeah.
that's terrific though. That's great that you're still
Yeah.
doing
Trying to
another
hold
show.
size and all that good stuff. So yeah. Yeah, it's a
Nice.
good show. Gary puts on a great show too.
I've heard that too. I haven't attended one of his shows before, but I heard he's really good promoter and good expediters there too.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been there, gosh, when I started trying to go for my pro card, I think I started in 2016, every year for 2 years until I got my pro card, which was 2019. So
Okay.
it's home. It's home to us because we're so
Oh,
used to being there.
oh, sure.
Yeah, we love
What,
it there.
so did you get 2019 at the North Americans? Is that where you got your pro card?
No, I got it at Masters National
Oh,
July.
Masters Nationals. Oh, very good. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was pretty cool too. I kept getting second the years before. It was like second, I was a second place girl.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a reason for stuff like that. And then I had won the 50 and over and figure. And then I won the 55 and over, and then I got the overall. So I had 3 pro cards. It was really super cool. So then I
Oh, nice.
realized this is why it took so long, because this is the way it was supposed to be,
Yeah. That's terrific. I
It
must
was
have been
cool.
thrilled to get all those pro cards and yeah. And
It was really neat. And then like, what was it? 6 weeks later, I went to, he used to have a Masters Pro show the same time as Worlds is. And I went to that and I won my class there. So my first pro show I won, and that was really neat.
nice.
So
Very cool. I
seems
like
like forever ago, but yeah.
that. That's exciting. I
Yeah,
was thinking that was a problem with Susan Graham for a little while too, with kept getting second, and
I
now she,
remember that. Yeah, I remember, and then she won, and it was like so cool.
oh, I know. It was really cool to see her in Omaha and getting that win, and she was just thrilled with that. So yeah, I
I know,
get
I wish I would have been there. That would have
yeah.
been really cool. Well, we saw
Um,
her, she did really well at Legions when she first came out, and so that was neat because I'd never seen her on stage before.
oh yeah, no, and that was the year she really came back and that was her big comeback year and
Yeah.
looked different too. She looked bigger on stage and
Oh my
yeah,
gosh. Yeah, she had done so much work. I think the powerlifting really helped her
I
through
think
the.
so too. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's been a big change for her, and it's really helped her physique and her overall look, I think, for
It
sure.
has. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks phenomenal.
No, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Um, Now I was curious, have you always done the figure division or have you ever done another division?
No, I've always been figure.
Mm,
Just bikini, I'm definitely too muscular.
yeah, I
And
understand.
yeah, and then physique, I'm just not big enough. So
Sure.
stick right with figure, and also physique, I like heels. I don't want to be barefoot. So
Oh, yeah, I understand.
yeah, so I'm like, oh, I want to wear heels.
As a fan, I do like physique better though, just because you get to do the routine and it's like show your creativity and stuff.
Exactly.
And get to pick the music for that too. I always thought that was kind of neat too. So
That would be fun. That's the one thing that we don't have as figure girls. Yeah. A
mhm.
little bit more exciting for the audience to watch instead of
Yeah,
just girls walking up there and doing their posing, regular posing.
I know it's like a little bit too rigid in the format, but to get to do the almost, incorporate a little bit of dance and that sort of thing too is really neat. So
Yeah, and show your positive points on your body. It's cool.
yeah.
Their posing they do is so hard though. I mean, that's a learned trait too, as opposed to what we do. It's way harder.
Oh yeah, no, I know there's like with Susan, I know there's certain like twisting that she does, I think to kind of give the illusion of like a smaller waist kind of thing. So
Mhm.
yeah, there's a whole kind of and I know the posing coach is like you're working with Sharonica, right?
Yes.
And I know she's kind of a master of that too, just pulling out like your best traits, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
yeah.
she's incredible. I actually posed with her yesterday, and she's really good because she explains it to where you understand it.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of posing coaches they don't explain it as well. They just tell you, okay, tweak your elbow this way. But she actually, like even with your walk, she tells you, okay, you should feel your knee coming up, or
Hmm.
your foot should be here. And then she's such a nice person.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, it was good to see her compete at the Texas Pro,
Yeah.
and she got. I was hoping for a win there, but she got fourth place, so it's still really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is good. And now she's going to Olympia. So I think that's her next vision where she's going is Olympia.
I think it is. Yeah, Olympia.
Yeah.
She kind of made a comeback too, and after being gone and building her posing business. So yeah, I'm really glad to see her back again because
Yeah, she's
she's
got a
amazing.
crazy body. Her body is incredible.
I
She
know.
poses, she'll show me a pose. I'm all, how do I do that? How do I make myself look like you?
She makes it look effortless. She looks
She
amazing.
does. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's very gifted. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. She is. She's really good.
Yeah. I wish I would have found her earlier in my career.
Really? Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah. I was curious in terms of do you ever seek out the judges and ask them for feedback in terms of where you need to improve your physique or your presentation?
I do. I don't do it super often. Like after the Chicago Pro, I had asked Steve Weinberger, I said, what do I need to improve? And he said, just come in tighter. So I
Hmm.
did. I came in tighter.
Sure.
And then usually Sandy Williamson, I'll ask her, you know, what do I need to do? What am I lacking? And she'll just say, basically, stay where you're at. Just keep your fullness without getting loose.
Okay.
So, and grow. They always tell me, get bigger, which it's hard to do sometimes because I'm not a big person, but I'm getting there.
Uh,
I'm
yeah,
getting
I
there.
understand. And you
Yeah,
don't want to get too big or, because it can mess up your health a little bit too.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I like to be obviously feminine. So I try
Yeah.
to just stay in figure and try to lift, and nutrition's huge, obviously.
Hmm.
So I've learned a lot about nutrition, and yeah, it helps, everything that you do, working out, nutrition, sleep is huge.
Mhm. Yeah, I know sleep is really important. That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was wondering if there's any advice you could provide to ladies who are seeking to earn their pro card. I know it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, but any special advice from your own experience?
Um, Gosh, probably the best advice I could say is just keep working towards your goal. Never give up,
Hmm.
because I've seen a lot of girls get to where they go year after year to shows, North America, Masters girls, Masters, you know, um, and some of them just give up after a while. And I mean, I could have very well done that,
Hmm.
but you just got to keep pushing forward and listening to what the judges say. And if judges see improvement, they will reward you for it.
Hmm. Yeah,
Sandy Williamson's really good at seeing, okay, she or he changed. Um, and they listened to what I told them to do. That's huge.
okay. Yeah,
So that's what I did. I was too small, and I just kept trying to grow, 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 grow. And finally, I got to the point where, okay, she looks great. And then I was rewarded for it. So, yeah,
that's great
it's
advice.
just don't quit. I say just push forward. Um, you know, if it's your passion, you'll get there.
I think it's like what you said about kind of getting the case of the seconds for your second, and that can be a little discouraging, but
Yeah.
it also means you're on the precipice of winning too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I was the second girl. The second girl again, second. So soon I'm knocking at the door. So one of these
Uh-huh.
days it's gonna
Yeah.
happen. I don't know when, but yeah.
I understand. Yeah. And it can drive you a little crazy too, but yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, there's those moments where you think, oh, why am I doing this? And then for a minute, and then in the next minute, you're like, okay, let's go again.
I
So
understand.
yeah, perseverance pays off.
Definitely. Yeah. Now, do you currently have a prep coach that you work with?
I do. Damien, he's with Pro Physiques, and he's
Damien?
awesome.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes. I've heard of him before. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been with him 3 or 4 years, and he's done incredible things with me as far as my body goes. I've learned so much, and he
Hmm.
always gets me on stage perfect, and he's always there when I have a question. I can't say enough about him.
Hmm. Nice. That's
Yeah,
great. I've heard good things about him. Yeah.
yeah, he's good. He's to the point. He's very okay. If you ask him a question, he'll answer it, but then it's basically, you know how to do it.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, so because I've asked him some really silly questions
Oh, right.
about diet and stuff like that. But yeah, I was getting an answer, and I'm like, why did I ask that? That was kind of silly.
Oh, well, no, no, there's no dumb questions in
Why are we
bodybuilding.
doing this right now? And then
No.
he'll write, this is because
Uh-huh.
So yeah, he's incredible. So
That's
maybe one of these days we get to meet him. He trains like Sydney and a lot of the higher up girls in Olympia.
yes. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, and I've interviewed some of the folks he's worked with, and yeah, he's worked with some really good folks. And I'll for the audience, I'll make sure to include his Instagram and Sharonica's down below too.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, in the comment section. So
Good.
yeah. Now, Susan Graham, had initially mentioned that you used to be a runner, but you had, and I think it was more not an ailment, but like the wear and tear you mentioned that pursued you from pursuing running anymore. And she convinced you to start bodybuilding. But I was curious, how long did you run? And um, um, was there anything that happened that prevented you from continuing running, like an injury?
Yeah, actually, I used to get up when our kids were little. I would get up at 3 in the morning so I could be in. I had a girlfriend that I ran with, and we
Wow.
ran for years and years and years, and we would run outside a lot of the time in the winter. And
Oh,
one morning we were running up a hill by the gym where we worked out, and I pulled my hamstring super bad.
oh, wow.
So that was kind of like sidelined me because I couldn't really do a whole lot of anything.
Yeah.
And then it was just injury after injury. Then one of my feet was bugging me, and then my back was bugging me, and my hips were bugging me. And I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
I was getting beaten down. So, and most of it was street running. So that's super hard on your body too. But I
Yeah.
loved running because of the endorphins that you get from it. But it's just not, as you get older, I don't think with me, it was doing anything good for my body.
Yeah, I understand that.
And now
Yeah.
I can't run. They tell me do not run. So
No.
yeah, no running.
I don't think running and bodybuilding go too well together
They
anyway.
do not.
No. Um, no, I've spoken a few times with a former marathon runner turned bodybuilder named Katie Younger, and she's talked about that. Yeah, they just don't mix, and you can't really do both. And I know running can be really tough on your body. It's where tough on your joints and your well, it seems like a lot of aches and pains that result from it sometimes. So
Yeah. But there's
no,
nothing like running. That is for sure. Once
yeah,
you get that point where you get past that like wall and you
uh-huh.
can go forever, there's nothing like that feeling in the world.
Do you ever do like a road race where you just walk it? Because I do that. I'll just do like a 10K and just walk the whole thing instead of running, and
I
it's
haven't done that yet, but I'm sure it's probably down the road a ways in my future. I might do one of those is it med fun runs
oh
they have,
yeah.
yeah, I
Uh-huh.
always thought that would be kind of fun to do one of
Yeah,
those.
those are cool looking. Yeah.
Something different. Yeah.
Oh no, that'd be kind of fun to do. Kind of messy.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of fun though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I was curious, do you prefer bodybuilding training over running training, or do you have, I know, like we said, they're kind of different for sure, but do you have a preference?
Definitely bodybuilding.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. I've learned, like I said, when I first started out, I was kind of lost. I didn't want to do it. And I was lifting my little 7.5 pound weights. And then once I started understanding, okay, this is why we're doing this particular exercise, and I saw my body changing because of it, that's when I really started enjoying it and wanted to learn.
Hmm.
And I'm always, you never stop learning ever, about the way that people you're supposed to train and the difference in the way people train. Everybody doesn't train the same.
Hmm.
So,
That's
you
true.
know, some go way heavier, some go lighter. Yeah, it just depends on how their body's on, how they've been instructed to do it. So
Okay. Yeah.
I've been just really lucky. I've had really good people helping me in every realm of the sport,
Really? That's
the
great.
support. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Because a lot of people don't have that. I've been super lucky.
That's terrific. Yeah. I know I've
Yeah.
heard some bad coach stories through the years, and yeah,
Yeah.
those don't sound like much fun.
No, you kind of like run from those usually,
Mhm. Yeah, you
but
don't want
it
to.
happens.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And there's
Yeah.
some not great coaches out there for sure. Now, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of competition prep for you?
Was challenging. Probably posing because it does take so much work and energy.
Hmm.
Um, as far as lifting weights, it's not really that challenging. Diet's easy for me. When I have a hard time is after the shows.
Yeah,
It's
talked
my
about that.
main problem. So
Like
like, let's say,
post-show blues.
yeah, November to February, when I kind of get lost a little bit,
Hmm.
I stay on my diet per se. I eat, different things, but you kind of lose your drive a little bit
Hmm.
as
Yeah.
to, okay, what am I doing? I'm going to keep going. What's my next challenge? So
Hmm.
that's probably, I know there's a lot of people that are like that.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
And I
prep
do.
itself really isn't, to me, I've never really had a problem with it. I mean, yeah, it's hard. If you do a contest prep one time or multiple times, you can do anything in life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
If you can only eat so much tilapia.
Uh-huh. No, I admire y'all for doing it because I don't think I'm cut out for bodybuilding. I'll just tell your stories and live vicariously through you guys.
Yeah, yeah. I used to do years ago, I did a couple of shows and I had no carbs basically. I just was on fat and protein, and that was hard.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah,
learned, yeah, that's not, my body did not like that.
oh no.
So yeah,
That'll teach
like
it.
one of those learned lessons.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I understand. And those are lessons that stick with you too, remember.
They do, absolutely. And then when people want help, okay, this is what we do not do, and this is what we do.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good. Good to learn.
Uh-huh.
I was curious if you could give any advice to ladies who are looking for a good coach, what to look for.
I would say experience, obviously, look at their, with social media, it's so easy to just usually find a coach and see the success they've had. Even getting in touch with some people that they've coached, if you have any questions about them. Usually it's word of mouth. It's kind of like Damien, he has so many successful athletes that, and they've been with him for a really long time. If you have athletes that are doing really good and they've stuck with the same trainer, you know that's a good trainer.
Yeah.
But if people are kind of bouncing around from trainer to trainer, that's not a good sign.
Yeah,
So
I understand.
yeah, as far as the trainer goes. So yeah, just kind of do your homework and see if their philosophy, goes with yours. And some people, it's just prep and it just doesn't jive together. So then it's time to search for somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
age, it's an age thing too. Like younger people, with certain trainers do better than older people. Like Damien's really good with older, like masters girls, guys.
Okay.
And that's an art you have to know because, the older human body is different. It reacts to things different. So he's like, if you're older, you have to kind of like deal with a different coach person that knows the body in that realm, what it's going to react to, and trying to keep water off, but still staying tight. And it's a whole chemistry thing. It's crazy. But and then the younger athletes usually there's trainers that deal with them a little bit better as far as I think masters athletes are easier to train in that they've gone through life. They know what, circumstances are, what life is about. They're basically almost done with work or raising children. And so they're really ready to focus, where the younger athletes are still in the middle of life and kids and getting married and all that kind of, and work, careers. And that makes it harder because there's more to juggle.
Yeah, I understand.
So
I would think that the mental aspect of it would be tougher with younger people, maybe just because they're still trying to figure things out, and
absolutely.
yeah.
I think masters athletes are probably way more mellow. That's my experience.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I think so too. Because you already kind of figured out life by that time too.
Yeah, and we enjoy it more because we know it, it's kind of fleeting. So
Yeah.
we embrace it.
But you're also kind of imbued with wisdom and life experience too. So you're more confident, I think. And
Absolutely. Yes.
yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Now, I spoke briefly with you and your husband, Bob, at the Tampa show. And I was curious, is Bob supportive of your bodybuilding efforts?
Absolutely. Yeah. Every show prep after the shows, I'm very lucky. Yeah, he supports me in anything that I want to do.
That's
I say
great.
I want to go to a show. He goes, go for it. You need a new suit, get a new suit.
Terrific.
He's gone to every show that I've gone to, except for I think my first pro show. He stayed home because we had a litter of puppies at the time. But yeah, every show he's there. He hauls on my food onto the airplane, off the airplane.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
great to have that kind of support, I think. And I think that's important to have that kind of support too.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And when you get stressed, it's good to have somebody to bounce your stress off of, even though sometimes it's hard on the other person. I think it's harder watching than it is being on stage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because yeah, I know what you mean. Because you're kind of living vicariously through that person too, but you're nervous for them and you want to make sure that everything goes smoothly and it's heartbreaking when it doesn't go smoothly too, I bet,
Yeah, it is. It is. I know it's I've seen that where I don't know how many times you come off stage and there's been multiple times where we think that I'm in first the way that they line us up. And it's happened at numerous shows. And I get called second, before first place. And I'm like, okay. But I almost feel bad, not for me, but for, Bob or anybody that supported me, because I don't want to feel like I disappointed somebody. So
Oh, yeah, I understand.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I have an issue with it, really. But I know as
Yeah.
long as I brought my best physique on stage and I've tried my hardest, that's all I can do.
Yeah. Oh,
Because it's so
exactly.
subjective.
And it's,
Yeah.
the judges are the ultimate arbiters anyway, so yeah, exactly. That's true.
I think that's where a lot of people get discouraged is because of that. Because, it's subjective. The judges are saying, okay, you deserve this place for second, third, fourth, or not at all.
Mhm.
And instead of looking at the sport as I just want to improve, I want to listen to critiques and I want to try and improve my body in this area. And
Mhm.
then if you do, then and you get on stage and you don't place where you want to place, in your mind that you tried your hardest.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's all you can do. There's nothing else you can do.
Yeah.
So, and
That's true.
not let placing belittle you or make you want to quit.
Mhm.
It's a mental, you got to be strong mentally and think, okay, I did, as long as you did put your all into it.
Yeah.
Didn't
I totally
shortcut it.
agree.
Yeah. So there's a lot to be said about that too.
Yeah, I understand that. That's good advice too for folks listening, I think too, so um
Mhm.
and now you mentioned you have kids and grandkids, is that right?
I do. Yeah.
Oh,
We've had
cool.
5 kids. Yeah. We've had 5 children and we have 4 grandbabies and then one on the way.
Wow, congratulations. That's awesome. Are
Yeah.
they
It's pretty cool.
are they supportive of your bodybuilding efforts or
Yeah, they are. Actually, our daughter, before she started having kids, she did a couple of bikini shows, so that was fun.
oh yeah?
She would do
Nice.
that. Yeah, they're supportive. I think sometimes they think their mom's crazy, but they all work out. They know, nutrition and you need to, take care of your body, to have a good life and perseverance, with anything in life. I think they see what I do to get on stage and they realize that you have to work. In life, you
Yeah,
have to work if you want anything good. So I think that's taught them a lot. I hope it's taught them a lot.
that's great. Yeah, I'm sure you're really inspirational to them. And what about the grandkids? Are they all pretty young?
Yeah, our oldest is 4, but she's
Oh,
still,
okay.
every once in a while, she'll flex.
Oh, cool. That's so cute.
She's a little, her name's Rowan and she's 4, but yeah, she'll flex her. Yeah. And then her brother has a little dumbbell that it's dumbbells that talk to you. He
Uh,
uses that quite a bit. So yeah, it's quite comical.
that's so cute. Oh, I bet that's adorable though. Um, so I know, like we talked about, you live in wine country of California, and so you're close to the Bay Area there. I was curious, is that a good area for bodybuilders, or is there many bodybuilders that you know in that area?
There are, but it's kind of scattered. It's
Hmm.
not a real big, where we live, the towns are pretty spread apart. So I
Yeah.
think in our town now there's only 30,000 people. So probably there's gyms and there's people that compete and lift and that kind of thing. But
Hmm.
it's not like if you were to go to like Tampa or Pittsburgh or Southern California where they have all the gyms down there, Northern California. It's not we only have a couple gyms around here. So
Yeah, sure.
so the people that compete or in that realm, it's not a lot,
Yeah, I understand.
but yeah,
Yeah.
far and few between. But it's funny how you would think that we would know each other in this little, these towns, and most of us don't. We'll find out about somebody like 5 years later. I didn't know that person lives here.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
interesting. Oh, huh.
it's a small world, but then it's not. So
Yeah.
yeah,
You, yeah, I would think you'd run into him in the gym or just know just through bodybuilding circles or whatever.
yeah, exactly. Like somebody will say, "Do you know?" Well, don't you know who this is? And I go, "No, I don't." Well, they live, in the next town down, and I'm all, "Oh, I've never even heard of them." Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Oh no, that
Yeah,
is interesting, huh? Yeah.
yeah,
That's a little different too, being in an area like that with a collection of small towns versus being like in a big, metro area too, I think. Because I think it seems like all the Tampa bodybuilders know each other, for instance, so but
yeah,
we've attracted a lot of good pros here in Tampa for sure, which is good to see.
yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have so much going on there, though. Holy cow!
Oh
You know,
yeah, no. Yeah, Tampa's great. It's really a good community. I think it's eclipsed, like Miami used to be kind of a big bodybuilding area, but I think it's eclipsed Miami. And I think partly because Miami's so expensive now. I think people are kind of trying to get out of there. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's merging over where you're at.
Yeah, it's a little better over here, a little calmer.
Yeah, I think it is a little calmer.
Uh, Miami is so crazy. Oh my gosh.
I've only been in there once to get on a ship to go on a cruise, and it was crazy. And that was probably 16 years ago, and that was crazy then. I can't imagine what it's like now.
Oh my God. It's very vertical. It's everything just keeps going higher and higher there with the buildings and everything, and very congested. It's just, yeah, it's a nice place to visit, but I definitely wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah.
I just have a few more questions for you. Are you still good on time?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was curious if you ever find yourself to be target of like fit shaming, which I didn't even realize was a thing until recently, but y'all should be praised for your hard work and sacrifice instead of put down. But do you ever have to deal with that with either
I've been,
online or in person?
I've been really lucky. I really haven't. I've never
Mm,
had anybody say something directly to me. I do get looks,
mhm.
um, and not positive looks, but I just go on about my way. But I've never had anybody directly come up unless they say, well, I would never want to be women. Well, I would never want to be that big, you know.
Yeah,
And I go, I
sure.
get it. I was there once, but it's just something you have to choose if you want to do it or not. And trying to take care of your body as you get older, it's important to at least
Yeah,
lift weights, not necessarily compete, but to lift weights.
yeah. Oh, I know. It's good for
That's
your
what I,
health and your bones and everything, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just neurologically, it's so important also. I mean,
Hmm.
it helps your brain, so that doesn't deteriorate, your whole body, your osteoporosis, everything that goes on with your body as you get older, it helps combat that. So
Hmm.
that's what I try and tell people that I train. I said, it's not about being muscular like Linda, big like Linda, but just to the point where you feel good. You want to feel healthy.
Yeah.
You don't want to feel like you're going to break as you
Mhm.
get older.
Yeah,
So
I understand.
so many
Yeah,
people don't know that between nutrition and just exercising. So many people do. I'm amazed at how many people don't know about the right and wrong way to do it. It's
oh
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
just uneducated. I'm like, I don't know how our country, so many people can be uneducated about nutrition and just, exercising.
Mhm.
That's kind of scary and sad, but I try
I
to do my
know.
part there.
Oh no, I think that's great. And you're inspiring people too, for sure, which is great.
I hope so.
Yeah, American diet is just crap. There's just so much garbage, in the American diet, unfortunately. And yeah, even like cutting out fast food, I think makes a big difference, in your diet,
It does. Well, everything's so not as much where we live, but everything's just so, instant gratification, eat
Mhm.
now, school, sports, whatever.
Mhm.
Just go, 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 go. And so a lot of people just resort to, they have to eat quick, so they go get fast food or something that's not healthy. Um,
Yeah.
where you can eat healthy going fast too, but it takes more time
Yeah. Yeah.
as far as, getting food ready and stuff like that. So yeah,
Hmm. Yeah,
I
that's
guess I hope
true.
I can just educate so that it's not really that hard. You just have to, it's a lifestyle. You have to get used to lifestyle, and it takes a while.
Yeah. Oh,
It
I
doesn't happen
know.
overnight.
Yeah, no, you're right. It definitely takes a
Mhm.
while, and you have to be patient, I think, for
You
sure.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's key. Yeah, patience. And nothing, you didn't get to where you're at overnight. It's going to take a while so that you can get healthy.
Mhm.
It's not going to happen overnight to reverse it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely understand that. And good to hear you saying that too, I think. I was curious, do you ever find it hard to deal with like demands of social media? And I'm 50 years old, so and I'm still trying to learn how to use social media myself, and sometimes it's kind of anti-social media in my opinion. But I was curious what your experience has been with that.
I've been looking in that room too. I'm not on Instagram or Facebook that much.
Uh-huh.
I just, a lot of it's just my family that I, watch on there.
Okay.
So I haven't had any issues struggling with social media or comments, people leaving comments, that kind of thing. Everybody's always been positive. I've never felt like I've had a problem with anybody saying anything negative about me, which
Hmm.
I said, I'm really lucky. Because
That's
I think the
good.
higher up you go in any sport, the worse, it's going to happen eventually, right?
Yeah. Hmm. I think
So,
you're going to get more trolls. Yeah, the higher up in the sport, and there's just a lot of nasty people out there, keyboard,
oh, it's
warriors or
horrible.
whatever. And
People
yeah,
hide behind that, and I think it's horrible. That's the one bad thing about the internet. You're
Yeah.
not directly talking to somebody. People say things that they wouldn't say in real life to somebody. So,
Mhm. That's why I call it anti-social media, because it is a lot of cases, it just a lot of nastiness, and it's just a lot of bad vibes and just toxicity, so yeah. But yeah, but I think there is some good to be had of it,
there is.
and Instagram and the bodybuilding community seem to have kind of worked out, pretty well. But yeah, I just feel bad for some of the ladies that deal with some of the negative comments, and it really affects them, and it's just kind of
Mm.
sad to see.
I know it is. It's people can be mean, you know, I just, I just don't understand that, but
Hmm.
it's life, I guess, right? You just kind of, just don't read the comments. No,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
hard. Yeah, that's
And
hard.
block them and delete them too.
Exactly. Block. You're blocked. Thank goodness for that button, right?
I know, that's the good button. Yeah.
And if I ever seen you real life, no, I'm teasing. I'll remember your name.
I was curious, if do you have an opinion on like how we can get more fans to support the pro bodybuilding shows? I know Sherry Pirami put out a call to the fans, to show up and show out, and really, show support by showing up at the shows, or at least buying the live stream. But do you have any take on how we can get more fan involvement and more fan investment, in the sport?
I think a lot of it is social media. You know, hopefully that reaches a lot of people. Um,
Hmm.
it's hard because like just Olympia, so many people don't know what the Olympia is. They think of the Olympics, not the Olympia. I
Uh-huh.
think
Oh yeah.
it
Hmm.
yeah, it's just I don't know. That's a really good question. It's just exposure, and more people that do it, then the more exposure you're gonna get, you
Yeah,
know.
that's true.
So hopefully it will catch on, they keep adding more divisions in
Yeah, that's
IFBB and
true.
NPC, which I think is good because it expands where more people can be comfortable, competing in certain divisions.
That's
So
true.
that's a good thing. So, and then it reaches more people.
Hmm.
So I always wonder what they're gonna add next. I'm curious if it'll be probably on the guy's side, what they'll add. Though there should be something just because trying to get like more people interested, where yeah, you can compete and you'll do
Uh-huh.
okay. So, because not everybody can compete in figure, or like I couldn't compete if they just have bikini, I would probably never have stepped on stage.
Yeah, I
So
understand.
yeah,
Yeah,
so if they keep expanding it, then hopefully more people will become aware. Okay, I can do this.
yeah. I agree with you on that. It is a very niche kind of sport. But I don't think it was always that way. That it almost feels like if there was somebody like an Arnold Schwarzenegger type star that had and he kind of transcended the bodybuilding world. He kind of got
Mhm.
popular with the rest of the world too. Um, somebody like that could help really bring more attention to the sport. But I don't think we have anybody like that necessarily right now.
No, we don't. Yeah, it's that that's kind of like seems like it's gone away.
Hmm.
It almost seems like if people, the bodybuilders get into acting,
Hmm.
like Arnold or like Lou did, or I'm trying to think who else, but that makes bodybuilding more visible. Uh,
Yeah, I agree.
People are more aware of it, but
Hmm.
yeah, it just doesn't happen that often to where people, they just think they're just big, you know?
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
I know it's and the wrestlers, they get into the movies and they end up becoming famous. But I've seen Dave Batista at the Tampa show a few times. He's come to watch, but yeah, I don't know. I would like to see more attention on bodybuilding, and that brings me to my last question about how do you think we could get bodybuilding back on TV? Because I remember, it was on NBC and ESPN, back in the 80s and 90s, and that really helped expose a lot of people to bodybuilding and inspired them to want to compete, or at least see what this is all about. But I just can't believe it's not really on TV right now. So
yeah, no, it's not. It's kind of like the Olympics powerlifting, they get that in there. Um,
yeah.
and it's just, how do you get it on TV? what there's shows that or documentaries that talk about, bodybuilders, which are super interesting. If people get more attracted to that, then maybe it'll expand into more TV time.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's like, I think a lot of people in the world think that they know bodybuilding is so time consuming, that just sitting down and watching a bodybuilding show, some people don't understand it either.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
whereas other sports, you kind of know more what's going on. So
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
like the difference in divisions,
Hmm.
with guys, you have the 212 bodybuilding, classic physique, men's physique, and they're different. But I think like a normal person can say, oh yeah, he's bigger, but they don't really understand the difference in splitting the divisions. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
and
they're
back
different shorts,
they didn't have that division split out back in the day too. Just was
Mm-mm.
just men's bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding, and maybe
Yeah,
the figure fitness. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I would love to see it back again, and I figure if they're gonna have pro cornhole and hot dog eating contests
I
on
know.
ESPN, it can. Why not bodybuilding? And there's a certain like sex appeal to it too. If that's that would help draw people watching too. I would think so. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It would be nice if they did get it on TV more, because I think that it would help, obviously,
Hmm.
um, with people just watching and then getting motivated
Yeah, exactly.
direction,
Hmm.
like
I think
like
so.
a reality show. They need a
I
reality
thought
show.
about that with Netflix doing a show on women that are mamas or grandmas, and they would be muscle mamas.
Yeah, yeah. That's actually a good idea. We'll see it if it ever evolves. That would be really interesting, actually.
It would be. I think it would be really interesting to see
It
and
would be.
kind of see like what goes on beyond, behind the scenes in these women's lives and
I know.
try
I'm
to
like, sign
go.
me up. No.
Oh yeah, I think it'd be really cool. So we'll
Yeah.
see. Yeah. Um, so is there anything that I missed that you'd like to address or anybody that you'd like to shout out?
Not really as far as addressing anything. No, it's just my family, the people that helped me through years, Bob, my husband. I told you about Art, all my kids, Amanda, Austin, Alec, and Andy. And who else would there be? Damien's helped me, all my coaches through the years. And just, you know, people that are in our town support, they're pretty supportive.
Yeah.
There's been just so many, it'd probably take a whole sheet of paper for sure. But
Okay.
yeah, I've been really lucky. There's been so many people that have helped me, and it's been a positive thing. I've never really had a bad experience. So
That's terrific. Yeah. And then got to root for Susan at the Olympia too. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Are you gonna go?
I am. I'm gonna go. Yeah,
Yeah, we're
definitely.
going to. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be a great show.
it
I've been to
is.
a couple
Yeah.
Orlando Olympias and they were just such a spectacle, just amazing to watch. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm
Well,
excited about it.
the Vegas one, you haven't ever been to when they have it in Vegas yet?
No, I haven't. This will be my first time in Vegas. Or I've been to the city before, but not to Olympia at Vegas.
Yeah, we went years ago. It's fun. My daughter and I went, and then Bob and I went years ago, and it's fun. And now
Yeah,
that it's on this strip, it's even better. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm really excited about it. I think it's gonna be a great show for sure. And
Yeah, it's all
so
sold out. Like the Saturday night's already sold out.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm actually flying back Saturday night, but I'm there for Thursday for the meet and greet and then all day Friday. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
And
the meet and greet, you'll like that. That's really fun. You've done that before in Orlando.
yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. Susan's got to print up some pictures for that, I think,
I know.
to sign. Yeah.
It's gonna be so neat to see her there though. I never thought I would ever see her, at the meet and greet. I'm like, that's so cool.
I know. So it's really exciting. I think she's gonna do great there. And
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I think she's gonna hold her own against the Olympians that'll be on stage with her too. So yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, she will. She absolutely will. I think she's gonna come out better than ever.
I think so too.
That's what
Yeah,
Susan and I know. She will.
yeah, definitely. And I was just curious, do you have any sponsors that you'd like to shout out, or do you have any sponsors currently?
I do not.
No? Are
All
you
me.
are you
Yeah.
interested in sponsors? Because we could say here,
Oh,
that you
sure.
want.
I'll go for it. I just have
All
never
right.
Yeah,
Because that, the little forum here, we can, tell them that you're interested. So,
yeah, absolutely. I would not turn that down.
okay, very cool. So would you mind doing a quick flex for me?
Sure, we'll see what I can show, right?
Uh,
I'm not as good as Susan. I don't know, where do you want me to stand? Can you see me?
I can see, yeah. That's a good spot.
Good.
Nice. Looks good, Linda.
Did you get it?
Uh-huh. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. You look awesome. And best wishes at the Masters World Pro too. I think it's going to be a
Thank
great show
you.
for you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I'll let you know how I did. Well, you'll probably see it on my page, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Just seeing, there's so many people that are going to be there that are my friends that I haven't
Yeah.
seen for a while. So I'm just excited about that. So
Oh, I know. That'll be kind of nice just to see
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what we've been
definitely.
doing shows for a long time, all of us. So it's kind of fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it's about.
And there'll be people out there yelling for you too, I'm sure. So
Yeah,
it'll
I
be
hope
fun.
so. I think so. At least my husband.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it was really nice meeting you, and I'll get this posted relatively soon, probably later this evening, and tag
Okay.
you, and I'll tag, like I mentioned, your coaches too. But thank you so much for your time, and it was really nice meeting you.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you too. And thank you for including me in this. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, like I mentioned, Susan Graham had reached out and said I should really speak with Linda. So I'm really glad and I'm glad I got to see you in Tampa so I could talk to you too. So.
I know that's crazy that you saw us.
Oh
That's
yeah.
yeah.
When I saw that you were on stage and it was like, oh yeah, Linda Flynn. I was like, I gotta track you down. So
Yeah, yeah. That was me. That was a nice surprise.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, hopefully we'll see you at Olympia then.
Oh yeah, no, I'll definitely see you at the Olympia. Yeah, I'm excited about that. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it is. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Linda. Hold on just a second.
Okay.